So Sophie Cunningham is a player for the Phoenix Mercury, and she was on an interview with On3, I think. She was on an interview. It's on the YouTube channel from Nick Costco. But she is talking about, obviously, herself, her team in the playoffs, some of the brand deals she has. But she was also asked a question about the young players coming in, and I thought she gave a really good answer.
The WNBA just became even more exciting for fans. If you thought Caitlin Clark's journey in the league was already filled with drama, intensity, and high stakes, just wait until you see what's coming next.
To get my feet wet in something else besides basketball.
Sophie Cunningham, known as one of the most intense competitors in the league, has made her stance on Caitlin Clark absolutely clear. And it's not just talk. She's ready to prove it on the court.
Job in the league as well. I think the physicality and all that they're going to get used to, but I think especially Caitlin Clark, she's been killing it. And I'm a huge fan, and I never say that, but I think it's fun what she's doing. When it comes to viewership,
Sophie isn't just here for another season. She's here to ensure Caitlin Clark has the protection she needs. The Indiana Fever's newest enforcer is ready to redefine what it means to be a true teammate. If anyone thought they could keep up the cheap shots and unnecessary aggression toward Clark, Sophie is here to make sure that won't happen on her watch.
Well, this is what makes this team so tough. You look at Big Sil inside, Sylvia Fowles and Shepard. Nice pass to Sophie Cunningham.
Taurasi, baseline jumper. This is everything, but Sophie Cunningham is there reversing well.
Let's break down why this is such a big deal. Sophie Cunningham has earned a reputation as one of the WNBA's toughest and most high-energy players. When there's a battle on the court, she's right in the thick of it, ensuring her team has the upper hand. She's physical, relentless, and the kind of player you admire if she's on your team, but can't stand if she's on the other side.
So Breezy doing her part. 3 on the way by Sophie is good. Oh, number 9 has 9 points.
And now, she's fully embracing her role with the Indiana Fever, not just as a player, but as a protector, a leader, and a force to be reckoned with when the situation calls for it.
I think it's so fun that people are finally talking about the W. I really don't think that anything has changed. I just think that we have new fans, which means new eyes on the league. There's a lot more eyes on the league. And so, of course, people have their opinions. And there's some things that are just like wild to me. But for me, I just look at it as a positive that like, hey, people are interested in us. People are wanting to know more about us. And so I just always like to say, you know, the jump from high school to college, it's a totally different game. It's faster. It's more physical. You have to learn and you have to adjust to it. But when I tell you that the difference between college and pro is like 20 times that, it is. And the number one thing about it is physicality. And so honestly, I think it used to be even more physical just like 5 or 10 years ago. And so I think that's why you have a lot of players who are kind of frustrated about people saying people are being targeted or the physicality is crazy, because to us, I'm like, well, this is the softest we've ever seen the league right now. And that's not anyone's fault.
Caitlin Clark has dealt with countless cheap shots, rough plays, and unnecessary aggression. In fact, she alone has faced 17.7% of all fouls in the league, a staggering number. How can one player absorb nearly a fifth of the league's total fouls? Opposing teams see her as a major threat, and their response has been to bring her down. But now, Sophie Cunningham is here to push back.
But she can also stretch the floor with a three-point shot. So I just think you can plug her in so many different places and get some depth if you're Phoenix.
Now a member of the Phoenix Mercury.
And let's not forget, Sophie isn't reckless. She knows exactly how to channel her aggression. She plays hard but smart, pushes the limits but understands when to hold back. She's the type of player who can turn raw intensity into game-changing moments, making her a serious problem for the opposition. With Caitlin Clark leading the Fever's offense and Sophie Cunningham clearing the way, this team just became a legitimate threat to every contender in the league.
Cunningham unstoppable, now into double digits with 11. But it's been Powers doing the heavy lifting, leading all scorers with 25. Cunningham, baseline.
Sophie Cunningham isn't just aggressive, she's also the ultimate team player. Despite her high energy, physical style, she knows how to elevate her teammates rather than outshine them. Think about it. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, a game changer, and a future WNBA legend in the making. But no legend rises alone. Every superstar needs a teammate who's willing to do the dirty work, absorb the hits, and keep the game flowing. Sophie Cunningham is that teammate.
Powers fouls McBride, Jefferson, and Shepard. Turnover by Minnesota. Diana kicking it ahead to Diamond to Shields. She kicks it back out to Cunningham for three, and that is good. Back-to-back trip.
She's not here to play soft. She's not here to let Caitlin Clark be targeted. She's here to make sure the Indiana Fever plows through every obstacle standing between them and the 2025 WNBA championship. If other teams thought they could get away with roughing up Clark, they're in for a rude awakening. Sophie is watching. Sophie is waiting. And when the moment comes, she'll be ready to respond. Planning cheap fouls on Clark, expect payback, bringing extra aggression, you'll get even more in return. And for those trying to shake Caitlin's confidence, that's simply not an option anymore.
The game and her fourth assist. Again, this is a team we said does not give up on the game.
Phoenix trying to get to 2-0 in overtime situations this season. Powers tied up by Diggins Smith.
The message is loud and clear. The Indiana Fever isn't here to play around. They're here to win. And with Sophie Cunningham standing beside Caitlin Clark, the WNBA better brace itself for a whole new kind of storm. This is just the beginning. Sophie has spoken, and now she's about to let her game do the talking. She didn't land in Indiana by accident. This is exactly where she wanted to be. She's been vocal about her admiration for Caitlin Clark. And now that she finally has the chance to play alongside her, you can bet she's not letting this opportunity go to waste.
To get my feet wet in something else besides basketball has been phenomenal. Watching the Suns and watching the NBA, it's helped my game. It's helped me see things differently. You get to see different defensive schemes, adjustments being made, just educating myself. I think the more that I can just have a growth mindset and still be a student of the game, even if it's on the broadcasting side, because I have a lot of fun. And it's a great balance between getting your butt kicked in the off season, working out in the early mornings, and then going and talking about basketball.
For months, Sophie has been vocal about her admiration for Caitlin Clark's game. She respects her skill, her confidence, and her ability to take over when it matters most. So when the opportunity arose to join the Indiana Fever, it wasn't just another move. It was a mission. This isn't just about Sophie joining a new team. It's about her joining the right team. She didn't want to watch Caitlin Clark change the league from the sidelines or be just another opponent trying to slow her down. She wanted to be in the fight with her, making sure Clark has everything she needs to dominate. And now, that mission is a reality.
Reverse, that's pretty.
Yeah, two red jerseys.
Well, with that block, she just tied Yolanda Griffith with 323 all time as Turner finishes at the...
Sophie Cunningham isn't just here to enjoy the ride. She's here to make an impact. She knows that having a superstar like Caitlin Clark on your team is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and she's not about to let it go to waste. In Sophie's eyes, this is a chance to build something special. The Indiana Fever is no longer a rebuilding team. They're a team on a mission, a team with purpose. And Sophie is ready to bring every ounce of her intensity, toughness, and leadership to ensure that mission is accomplished. Now, picture this: Caitlin Clark running the offense, creating plays, draining impossible shots, and keeping the scoreboard moving, while Sophie Cunningham plays the ultimate enforcer, making sure no one disrupts that flow. It's the perfect balance of skill and strength, a lethal combination. Let's be real. Sophie thrives on competition. She's never been one to back down. And now, standing side by side with the biggest name in women's basketball, she's determined to make sure this duo goes down in history as one of the most dominant pairings the league has ever seen. The Indiana Fever may have overhauled most of their 2024 roster, but overnight, they transformed into one of the toughest teams in the league. A major reason for that: Sophie Cunningham has arrived with a clear mission to defend, protect, and win.